I would put some music and some audio cues in this intro.
Big green space marines in armor. Ring world. Bad aliens who kill humans. Shooting said aliens in the face.
Shoot this fucking alien right in the face!
Oh my...
Parasitic aliens called the Flood. 343 Guilty Spark. Oh no, Ringworld is actually bad. Destroy Ringworld. The story of Halo, particularly the first game, isn't exactly War and Peace, but what story exists at least has one thing you could always rely on. Confidence. Halo Combat Evolved is a confident game, partly because it has a confident story. It may be held together with duct tape and boogers, but man, does it ever make being held together with duct tape and boogers cool! You can almost always depend on a Halo game to provide a simple, yet sufficiently engaging story and gameplay. And as someone who's loved this franchise since the tender age of 6 years old, it holds much significance to I and many others around my age who owned an original Xbox and tried desperately to hold onto a Duke controller for dear life.
The giant, fat, morbidly obese Xbox game controller.
Halo isn't king shit of the heap these days, but back in the early to late 2000s, Halo was to my generation what Fortnite is to the generation born after the franchise's heyday. And with characters like Master Chief, Sergeant Johnson, The Arbiter, Cortana, to even supporting players like Captain Keyes, Lord Hood, Miranda Keyes, Prophet of Regret, etc., there was a way to hook onto this ever-evolving narrative. Times have certainly changed, but the original classic Bungie era finds a way to either stay the same or, in a way, enhance itself with the likes of the Master Chief Collection, allowing audiences to relive their childhood with higher fidelity, and newcomers to see what their dad played when they were kids. That's sort of the magic something like Halo can bring. Of course, with a franchise like this, there will always be the ambition for cross-media tie-ins, and Halo is no exception. From numerous books, comics, spin-offs, an anime anthology, and as the subject of this video, live-action adaptations of its world. From Forward Unto Dawn to Nightfall, to even the old Neil Blomkamp-directed Halo Landfall, which in itself was the creation born from the failed attempt at a full-blown Halo film. Seeing Halo adapted into something beyond a video game was always a treat, but what's lost to time is just the sheer hype surrounding the idea of a Halo film adaptation back in the day. You had the likes of Peter Jackson being involved, hot off the heels of Lord of the Rings and King Kong, Neil Blomkamp stepping up to the plate of director years before District 9, with a script helmed by Alex Garland of 28 Days Later, Ex Machina, Dread, and Annihilation fame. That never happened. The pre-production never really went anywhere, and Halo Landfall was the end result of that period of time, yet the yearning for a proper Halo adaptation never truly went away. Skip all the way back to 2013, during the unveiling of the Xbox One, when the announcement of the Halo TV series was present, along with the involvement of Steven Spielberg. Not exactly the Peter Jackson produced epic we could have gotten, but hey, this was around the time shows like Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, and House of Cards and others were still on the minds of audiences, so for Halo to join in on the prestige TV show phenomenon was still an enticing prospect. Said show would not come out until around 9 years later, and within that span of time, Bungie moved on to Destiny. Fortnite became a thing. Call of Duty outgrew Halo's own player base. Halo 5 went off like a fart. We received a new Half-Life game, TikTok, and 2 entire console generations. What did we get at the end of such a long tunnel of development hell? Probably one of the weirdest shows I've ever had the displeasure of watching, putting off, then finally finishing. And with the second season of the Halo show around the corner, I figured now's the time for my own 2 cents on this abomination. As said previously, Halo is about space marines fighting bad aliens who want to kill them, a ring world is involved, parasite aliens coming out and they're worse than the aliens humans are already fighting. Ring world turns out to be a bad thing. Destroy Ring world. Simple, elegant, confident. For the Halo show, the showrunners effectively ignore this ethos of a simple story told confidently in exchange of literally creating their own timeline of events called the Silver Timeline, which is really just an excuse for them to do whatever they want with Halo lore. A lore that I honestly can care less about. I'm not exactly a fan of Halo lore, mainly because of the franchise's recent reliance on said broader lore to carry their narratives at the expense of simple but confident storytelling. What should be humans shoot aliens in the face, Ringworld, worse aliens, bad Ringworld, destroy Ringworld, is instead a tapestry of in-universe lore dumps, seemingly magical artifacts, chosen one plot lines, political intrigue, dealing with the disturbing ramifications of the Spartan program, prophecies, rebellion, human evolution, Master Chief never leaving his damn helmet on, love, hate, conspiracy, race allegiances being questioned, just this big-ass stew of ideas and themes that it all culminates in a single question being asked. What the fuck is this show even about? That's the benefit of a simple story. Simple stories should never be construed with bad stories, especially if told with conviction. Top Gun Maverick is about a man who must teach a new generation of fighter pilots to take on a difficult mission against an enemy force. Star Wars is about a young man who leaves his previous life behind to rescue a princess, join a rebellion, and fight a clearly defined evil empire. Hell, even the more recent Godzilla -1 counts, as it's about a post-war failed kamikaze pilot who must learn to overcome his past mistakes and join a community-oriented effort to orchestrate and execute a plan to defeat Godzilla. They're all simplistic conceptually. What makes them rise above their simplicity, however, is how they're told and the themes they commit to within their simple framework. Maverick must learn to accept his failures and ultimately lead his team to victory. Luke Skywalker must learn to metaphorically grow up through the mysterious existence of the Force. Koichi must learn to deal with and confront his past failures in order to move on with his life, love himself again, and defeat Godzilla. Inherently, Halo is about humanity on the brink, fighting an alien force they cannot hope to win against, until they discover a mysterious ring world. Master Chief fights these aliens and eventually comes to discover the ring world's secrets, wherein he finds that it holds a parasitic force known as the Flood. The ring world itself is a super weapon meant to eliminate all life in the galaxy, and both need to be taken out. It's a simple story on its own, yet as the player, you know who the protagonist is, who the antagonists are, the stakes, the twists, and the ultimate resolution. Destroy Halo. Simple, elegant, confident. The Halo show, on the other hand, disagrees with this philosophy. It's not content with simplicity. Instead, it wants to shove subplots up our asses. One subplot being about Quan and her character arc about growing into a leader of a rebellion to fight the UNSC's control over a planet of Madrigal, which in itself has potential to be a fine story. If it weren't in a show also about Master Chief finding his humanity, which would be fine too. If it weren't so damn focused on the drama about the Spartan program and what it did to him and his fellow Spartans through augmentation and brainwashing, which would be fine. If it weren't also about mysterious artifacts that are so highly advanced as to be like magic, where Chief and this Covenant-aligned woman named Maquis are somehow able to literally transport their consciousness to Halo and are effectively chosen ones, which would be fine. If it also didn't cram in all this political intrigue about Dr. Halsey and the UNSC and how Halsey is obsessed with humanity's evolution as a species, which would be fine too. If it weren't also a romance story about Chief and Maquis being attached to one another, have sex, which in itself is super weird considering she's a prisoner of war, and apparently the sex was so good that it makes her question her allegiance with the Covenant.
What the fuck?
Which would be fine if, basically, what is the Halo show about, really? Let's ignore lore stuff. Let's throw the importance of the lore out the window for a minute. And let's really ask the big question about the Halo TV show on Paramount Plus that you can also, as of this writing, watch for free on YouTube. What is the story of the Halo show? What's the central hook? Who is even the main character really? What are the stakes? You know it's bad when the original showrunners for the series leave before it even comes out. You know you're in for a real treat when the Covenant, the main antagonists of the Bungie-era Halo series, are nowhere near enough of a presence in a Halo show supposedly about shooting aliens in the goddamn face. I wanted to keep this video relatively compact, but seriously, that's the biggest problem that plagues Season 1 of this supposed Halo show. Why do this? Why go this route? Why abandon the simple yet confident approach Halo is known for all this unnecessary noise? Where is the Halo? Yeah, for a show called Halo, there sure is a shortage of Halo to go around. I think I've said my piece about this pile of dog feces. It's what bugs me the most. Oh well, at least Season 2 looks to cover the fall of Reach, so maybe it'll recover. Maybe not. We'll see. Regardless, seeing Halo in the state it's in these days, it's just sad.